I'm going to speak about a regional coalition, which is called the Coalition for Equality Without Reservation. No, not just any reservation. None of the reservations are accepted, not at the international or at the national level. And this is a regional coalition that has been established in 2006. So we are not a very old coalition, but I think we have done some sort of good work. Before that, I just want to give you an overview of the situation of the CEDAW, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women in our region, in the Arab region. We had like phases of ratification. Those who have been, some of the countries like Egypt or Tunisia or Morocco signed early, ratified early, and then with the movement for ICPD, the 90s, all these women's conferences in the 90s, many Arab countries also signed, like Jordan and so on. And then at the end, now we are having all the Arab countries have signed except for two, which is Sudan and Somalia. But Egypt, my country, I'm proud of, have the first Arab country to sign, but also the first Arab country to put reservations to the CEDAW. And then, and nearly the four reservations that Egypt has put, first to Article 2 of the convention, which is actually the core of the convention, which is about the state responsibility to fight discrimination and to adjust its laws and programs and policies and all kinds of legislations to really be against discrimination. So they have reservation on that in the name of Sharia. That's one thing. And the other article is Article 9, Paragraph 2, which allows women to pass their nationality if they are married to non-nationals, if an Egyptian married to an Arab or to a Western person. And the third is Article 16, which is about equality within the family. And this is universal in all Arab countries. And the fourth is about international litigation, and they are all reserved also, Article 29. So Egypt done this very, very early, and it was followed by all the Arab countries. The only country that doesn't have reservation was Comoros Land. It's part of the Arab League, but this is the only country that has no reservations to CEDAW. But the others have the four basic things, and some add other reservations, like Kuwait used to have a reservation on Article 7, for example, or Jordan, reservation on Article 15. Article 7 about political participation, and Article 15 about freedom of movement and travel. So that's the situation. And actually, I think even CEDAW on an international level is very much linked to the strengths with the women's movement. So the 70s, actually, the movement in the 70s ended up with the three international conferences on women and ended up with CEDAW as a tool for us to use. It's the same for the women's movement. Those who had some sort of a movement in the 80s were the first countries to ratify, but the 90s, which witnessed a second move of the Arab women's movement in many countries, also witnessed the most of the ratification. And finally, the 2000s, this new century, it's not just the movement within our countries, but also the movement at the international level, because even CEDAW itself, when it was at the beginning, it was just a mere convention. It doesn't have tooth or hands to do. If a country doesn't abide, they doesn't abide. They just politely would seek to ask them, please take care that you have promised to do so and so, but they don't really do something for them. I think the last 10 years have witnessed change even within CEDAW. At the beginning, we as NGOs, we would just sit as an observers. But after that, in the past few years, we are getting NGOs there having time to put their shadow reports, to report, and even very lately, like what happened this time in Geneva, there is that lunch briefing where the committee members come, sit with you, ask questions, and get answers, and get comments, and pose it back to the government. And actually, what they did with us, Egypt report was being studied this session in Geneva, and they really, we were feeling that they are reading our papers. They asked all they really do care. So we are like enforcing each other, the CEDAW and the CEDAW committee members and the convention. So in 2005, the International Women's Rights Action Watch, Euro-Asia Pacific, had a consultation, an international consultation where many people participated in it from all over the world. And it was actually a consultation on how to push the ratification of the optional protocol for CEDAW. And it's important for us because it was one of the first international conferences, NGO conferences, where Arabic was one of the main language. And this helped a lot. Participation from many Arab countries and engagement in the discussion. And there we had, at the last day, we had like regional meetings on a regional basis. So we had our meeting as an Arab region, and we decided to have a consultation. And we actually were the first to have their consultation in 2006, and there the coalition was formed. The meeting included like 13 Arab countries out of 22, and out of 22 who have ratified the CEDAW convention. And we were very keen to get, for those who were interested in men, we were very keen to get participants from NGOs who are working mainly on women's rights, but also NGOs who are working on mainstream human rights, because we were feeling this is very much needed. And then through that time, from 2006 to 2010, we had another consultation, another regional consultation, where we had some more countries and members or member organizations, but also we had first, we had the petition or the Rabat Declaration, where we called upon everybody to support the Arab women's rights for equality without reservation. And this petition has been used actually very widely, and particularly through the internet. And here the young people, the young generations who are actually very good at this, and they were very innovative at this, were helping in spreading out the declaration and getting signatures through it. The meeting itself, the consultation itself, we did it in a way that had many, we had experts from the CEDAW committee, from UNIFEM, from the Special Rapporteur on Violence Against Women. We had many people, but also we choose to begin in Morocco, because the situation in Morocco is much better for women's rights at that moment. And actually, we got the Prime Minister in the opening session, which is very important in our countries, for those who doesn't know. For example, in Egypt, we will never dream even of having the Prime Minister opening one of our works. So, and in that meeting, they actually promised to lift the reservations and to ratify the optional protocol. They haven't done yet, but there are some steps that have been, I'm sorry about this, it's just closed very quickly. Sleeps very quickly after lunch, specifically. Oh, gosh. So in the past few years, there is a lot that has been done. Many of the Arab countries did some lifting of the reservations. I wouldn't say this is the reaction of the coalition, this is our impact. No, but it's very important that the impact is coming, because all the NGOs who are working in the coalition, who are members of the coalition, have been there working on the ground for years. So the coalition just helped to consolidate our work together.